Really, you just you just set me up so I could say something that I'm gonna regret, and then they're all gonna go on the social medias and tell my wife about my behavior on this stream, bro. Uncool. Hey, I don't rave anymore. Hit the second place on the popularity chart on Spotify. That's dope. Yeah. And one good thing is fifth place. So I mean, we're competing with Splinter, Melody Circus, Sledgehammer, bro, like the classics. Nope. I made the website store go to the Shopify thing since the website thing is bust ass with the Wix slash website stuff. There we go. That works. Where did this view go? Too many windows. I was looking at the Spotify. Where is everybody? All right, let me just go to the link. Where did I go? My face is blocked. Oh no, wait, am I on the wrong link? Yep, yep, I see it. I see it. We're still at the stuck on the minute mark. Good. I mean, we should. It's a minute away. Electric Boogaloo. It's yeah, Protos 2 is gonna be like late 80s raps and beats, bro. Let's go. Get some Axel F up in here. Ba 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 da, ba ba ba. I could, I hear it, I hear it.
Poof.
Let's go.
There we are. Again.
Is this officially episode 2 of EDM High School?
I think it's actually episode 2 this time, because episode 1 was we were supposed to cover everything before Savant in one episode, which we absolutely couldn't do. So we had to split up the episode into like 4 sessions. Okay, somebody. Hey, Andre, is it Andre? Andre. Andre. Day 14, awaiting for a new era. Oh my God, this guy.
I'm waiting for new era too, boy.
Who's singing "Bleed of the Enemy" part? I don't know. No, it's not mine. I didn't do any samples for the Cold collab. It was all fans.
Yeah, that was all fan samples. It was like the craziest. We thought it was going to be so easy,
Hmm.
and it turned into a pretty big project.
Yeah, and I think I didn't produce any samples for that. I just used everything other people sent me. For those people who don't know, I did something called a cult collab back in 2014, I think, or something. And 15, it could be 14, I think it was. And then basically it was a 200, 300 people sent me files that they either made or stole somewhere, and I put it together into a track. And the track is so-so, I guess. It's
Hey,
it's very messy.
you did the best that you could with what you were given, which was the challenge itself. So
So today we are doing stream on the first album that I put out. We're going to talk about all the demos that led up to it, and also some songs that I released right after, because 2011 was a very tight year musically. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And there's actually a lot of demos from Ninur that was released on Oracle, Ism, Alchemist, and Overworld. And this is how it goes usually when I make albums. These things rotate. And there are some songs here that they're not titled correctly, so you guys can try to guess in the chat what songs they are. Thank you, Bright One. I love you too. The Bright One. That sounded like some Star Wars shit.
Thank you, Bright One.
thank you, Bright One.
I appreciate your patronage. Come back again.
Actually, that sounded more like a Diablo, like an NPC.
That was like
Welcome,
Yoda
traveler, to my
slash the
humble
Emperor
abode.
meets Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So we are, without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. And again, appreciate all the super chats you guys send me, and we will read up and answer questions. If you have a question, send it in the super chat. If you have like a serious question about the album or the demos, or if you want to hear something specific, we'll take the time, because pay to play around here. But before we go, we're just gonna go quickly through the artwork. Yeah, and some songs that contain very copyrighted material and stuff like that, we're gonna try to stay away from. I'm not gonna talk about the debacle on the last stream. We can save that for another time. Okay, so the first artwork I made for this was this ring right here. And I was still trying to figure out the identity of the project and the logo and stuff. So the logo changed quite a bit a few times until Simon, my buddy Simon, came in to redesign the logo, this is a new version of that, but this is basically in his design. But we'll talk about Simon and his artwork and stuff at a later point too, when we start getting to Vario and stuff. And then, of course, we have the cover that I actually made, which I was like really active in 3D around the time. It sucks, but I was trying. And then I made some actual 3D artwork for that release, and I tried to make it stylistic so it kind of stood out. Did
you just blur the cover?
Yeah, not my proudest work, and thematically, I don't think it worked either. But it was also connected to this other song that I was making around the same time, who had a very similar aesthetic. And I think a few years back, I also did a redo of this cover just in case I wanted to do a CD again, which would be something way more mature. And my 3D skills have gotten a little better, so that would be that version right there. But enough about the artwork. Let's get back into the music stuff, because we don't have a lot of time to go through all the shit. Okay, let's go. So here's
a lot of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit. So I'm just gonna.
What did you end up with as the total count, tracks wise?
There's a few. There may be around 100, maybe more, maybe less. It's really difficult
for one album for Ninur.
Yeah,
this is.
So
I feel like you've been holding out on me for years, bro. Like that's what this stream is making me feel like. There's just so much.
Okay, let me just get the camera set up and the screens set up here because it's a little bit all over the place. So here's a better view so we all can see what's happening inside the tracks here. There we go. Okay, so there is more stuff that happened before Ninur, but you know, how much time are we gonna spend on the past? Like, there are still some Winter in Hollywood stuff. There is some awesome metal stuff that we haven't touched. There's the video game music we haven't touched, and a lot of Winter in Vegas, which is basically my IDM glitch drum and bass breakbeat project. I think we have to cover that in a separate session completely. So, and then of course I have a surf rock 50s 60s 70s surf rock
That's the Christopher Walken stuff.
Yeah. So that's a different stream in its own. Then I have a bunch of hip hop stuff, the Data Crash stuff. That's an entirely different stream. So let's jump right into the stuff here. So Octopus Crime. Ooh. Octopus Crime, where did you go? It should have been whatever. It doesn't matter. Octopus Slime. Octopus Slime. Where did that go? I thought I had it.
It's just here flying around the screen.
There we go. I found it. Oh, don't worry. It's all here. Okay, so 2010-11, I started, experimenting with electro house and dubstep, and it over time accumulated to this idea that, now I'm going to do an album release, and it all kind of blended into each other from the EP. I made an EP 2010 called Thrill Seekers, Savant's Thrill Seekers. Nobody's ever heard it. And there are some tracks there that you can hear the progression further on into the Ninur and the other stuff too. So Colorblind, this is all like Blanco and Savant, kind of like, it's hard to tell the difference in where the line ends and begins there. So Colorblind. There's a guy called John on Section Z called John Moran or something like that. Do you remember him? Electro House guy.
Yeah.
He made like progressive and electro house. This was actually supposed to be a collab with me and him in 2010, but we never got it off the ground.
That's hilarious. And then this Colorblind is not related.
No,
to
it's
the other
not related at all to the actual Colorblind track on Invasion, I think. So that's what Electro House sounded like in 2010, I guess. And then this is one of the Electro House tracks on the first Savant EP. So this is the first Electro House proper from Savant. So this is a very interesting track. Actually trying to fuse dubstep and electro house in a way, which is pretty rare for this time period.
Gentlemen, destroy.
Those big claps. Oh, my microphone's like super far away. I'm so sorry. Let me pull that closer.
Sound fine. Sound great.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start this one over, bro. It's like you're like fucking with the mic the whole time.
I'm good now. There we go. I just need to get it closer to my face. Yeah, so yeah, that was Destruction, and then we have Roots, which is what people are gonna recognize, have some similar themes to, the bullshit that everybody likes that I'm kind of like past already, which is
dubstep's gonna make a comeback. You're gonna regret everything you said on this stream.
I'm pretty sure I'm the first person that did the pirate stuff in dubstep, and that became a thing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, you can make the pit go kind of wild with that sway, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just talking about like when we're talking about like innovation and stuff like that. Like I wasn't thinking about innovation when I was making this, but looking back, I don't remember hearing other people do like accordions and pirate shanties inside of dubstep or electronic music in general, really.
Right. Or flutes.
Yeah.
Lots of pianos. Lots of violins.
Lots of pianos and synths. Yeah, here we go.
I mean, who else would be on the playlist for pirate dubstep? Fam?
Well,
Chat,
there are
let me
people
know.
now that are doing that stuff. There are people now that are doing that. I think
We need to hit all these guys up, bro. They owe us.
No, it's okay.
Lots of support for real.
And then we have the So when it comes to the pirate inspirations for the music that I've been doing, there's three definitive sources for my pirate sounds in my music. And the first one I grew up with. The second one was both of them were kind of in my like late teens, early 20s. And the first one's called, in Norwegian, is called Kaptein Sabeltann, but that would be Captain Sabertooth in English. And he was a pirate on children's TV, and he had a very catchy pirate song called whatever. But you guys can Google that if you guys want to hear that one. But that's a very big inspiration for my look too. Like when I show my daughter a picture of Captain Sabertooth, she goes like, "Papa, Papa."
That's funny.
Yeah. So basically, he's a French captain, you know, like a capitan, like a old school 17th century French pirate vibey. He's powdered face, red cheeks, big twirly mustache, and big scary eyes. And he basically the same beard situation I has, and a big hat, black long curly hair, and literally looks like Savant, but the cartoony Halloween costume version of me. Ironic, it's the other way around.
I'm seeing a lot of Monkey Island in the chat. Any Monkey Island?
Yeah,
influence on that?
so we're getting to two other definitive resources for this inspiration. And then the second inspiration is from Hans Zimmer and Klaus Badelt's soundtrack for Pirates of the Caribbean 1, 2, and 3, and those things. I don't feel like it has a lot to do with pirate music, but it's definitely some in there. The orchestral stuff specifically. And then when I was a little older, a friend of mine, I played Monkey Island as a child, but I never kind of paid much attention to the music. It was on DOS, point and click. Fucking, I wanted to shoot people in the face in GoldenEye. You know? I didn't give a shit about this like strategic thinker, the thinking man's clicking game. So basically, when I was a little older, I got into Monkey Island 3, and Monkey Island 3 specifically is where all the musical inspiration comes from, and the game is awesome as well. Played probably 60 times. Me and the friend who showed it to me, we started a metal band where we mixed grindcore, death metal, heavy metal, and pirate music from Monkey Island style stuff. And the song called Aquarius on Protos is a song we actually wrote together as a metal song that I just, since we never released it, I just put it out on Protos, and I credited him, of course, on the writings.
What was the name of the band?
It was called Protos. The band we created was called Protos. Oh. That is why I put the song on Protos, the album, because
I think I remember this.
Yeah, so I made when we started hanging out, he played in like 30 bands, and I played in 30 bands, and I came up with the name Protos, I think. Firstborn or something like that was what we talked about, and then I found out that Firstborn is Protos in Greek because we played, StarCraft, as children. Protoss is a faction in StarCraft, so it just made sense. Firstborn, we went with that. It's very death metal to have like this like Old Testament firstborn son, kill everybody else, you know, that kind of thing. So Protoss was the thing, and that's why it's ironically also on Protoss the album. And then of course that was Roots, and then we have Octopus Crime was also on the first EP.
59. What a name.
It's Optimus Prime, but Octopus Crime. I thought it was a fun name.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love.
I've heard this one.
Yeah, you haven't?
I have.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this old version. It still holds up to me. Sound design, I think it's cute. I really
sounds like something Disciple would put out today. So.
I don't know. Yeah, but the remake is more like it would sound like today, right? Oh.
Yeah. I just got super loud. No, so this remake I have not heard.
No, I didn't release it. But I made it exactly 10 years after the original was made. But I teased it on social media, but I never did anything with it. So, question to the chat: can I make rhythm, or is this rhythm? What is this? Is because this isn't? No, I don't think it's tear out. Is it just because it has a lot of effects and breaks?
I mean, well, usually what I define as tear out, and this is like my interpretation, is basically the drop is literally just like very simple, very drawn out. It gets to the drop right away. There's nothing else about it.
Okay, you know? Yeah, but okay, so let's take a listen to the different parts there. If it's rhythm or tear out, I don't think it's tear out, because tear out is a lot more like longer sounds.
Yeah.
And I feel like it has a lot more like open chords on the heavy metal guitar, while this is more like stabby, screechy. Okay, so let's take a listen.
It could be that it's just fucking no genre too.
Yeah, no, I think a lot. I think a lot of the beginning here is like more old school dubstep or bro step, and then the ending here is more rhythm. Here. Okay. Let's see. That's a little rhythm to me, but it's the sound design isn't. Yeah. A lot of those sound effects are homemade, like the machine gun sounds, stuff like that. I've made those by hand. They are not samples. I do a lot of gun sounds for video games. But anyway, because then right after that, or between that time, I made Blanco, which also has a lot of similarities to Savant. And it's back in the day, I was really adamant about separating the projects. To me, it's a little bit like whatever at this point. But this was yeah. So Sweat is super inspired by a group called Noob and Brodinski. A song called Peanuts Club. It's a super big inspiration for this track.
I used to love it when you played this one live, though.
Even if people hated Blanco or don't fuck with this type of shit, they went wild when I played this out. It's just a good live track, you know, like it works in a club or in a, you know, room setting. Bingo. more awkward.
It's a track that works really well when you're fucked up. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
'Cause it's got that brain that carries your head around.
Yeah. Bingo is more like a minimal kind of soca inspired thing almost. Really fast reggaeton, I guess.
Let's see Bad Bunny speed rap on this.
Yeah. So this is I kind of imagined, like, what if a techno producer from Puerto Rico made their version of techno? What would their rhythmical sensibilities be like? Because this is not trying to do melodies or synths, it's just like rhythm and percussion.
Yeah. So clean.
I can never stay away from. Well, sorry. Yeah.
It's so clean at the end of the day. It has a lot going on, but it's like.
Yeah, I think it's because there's no bass sounds and stuff. I think it's the drums are solo and it gets all our room to breathe. I love this part. Minimal 808s. You can talk in the club, you know. Okay, anyway, and then Snake, I think it's a very similar deal. Yeah. I get a little Daddy Yankee from that lead somehow, like, you know,
yeah,
like
for sure.
Little Daddy Yankee vibe on the top there. Okay, and then it started getting more and more into dubstep, and this track, people in the chat try to find out which track this is.
Shit. Uh-huh. Yeah, they got it already. I love that you do this.
Do what?
And like what we were talking about earlier, like you're making 100 tracks for every 7 tracks or some crazy shit like that. And then you pull years later ideas, perfect them, and put them on another record.
That just happens.
Never-ending story.
Yeah,
awesome.
We're gonna get through tons of tracks here that I put out way later. That this is before Ninur, the first album. Still, this is made in 2011, and I made this as a track for 2 rappers, and they didn't like it, so they didn't take it. I was trying to do like a Justice meets Electro House.
Okay.
Like French touch, but with electro house, which has been a thing I've been loving a lot. Happy Step is also an attempt at trying to court these rappers, these pop rappers in Norway, with something that was like commercially viable, but was still had the dubstep vibe of 2010-11. I love this Happy Step.
Never again after that. Desolation.
But here you can start to hear the elements that became very classic for the early Savant days. Oh yeah, in Norway we have a genre just for, you know, graduating teens. They'll pay a super big EDM artist to make a track, or rappers to make a track for their like fraternity. What it's called? Is that what it's called? Sorority, fraternity, yeah. Sorority, and they'll have their own bus with like a huge painting outside the bus, and they'll spend like between 10 and 100,000 to make that bus and that theme. And there are like 20 kids on this bus. They all group together, throw in their mom and dad's nepo money, and basically pay. Skrillex has made one of these tracks before. I think Calvin Harris has made one. A lot of big EDM acts has made one. And I made a living making tracks for these kids before Savant took off. And I used to make like 5K to 10K per track. for these jobs, and they tell you what theme they want. They tell you if they want a rapper on it or a singer on it, and I'll hook them up with that, you know. Or rappers would come to me and want an EDM beat so they could rap, and it would be like a buzz's name was, it was called In the Kitchen, and it was like a bunch of girls who wanted like this 50s vibe where it's like you belong in the kitchen. It was such a weird misogynistic thing, but it was all self-deprecating. And I made the hook for that. There was some rapper rapping on it. It was an EDM song. It was called In the Kitchen. That's where these bitches will be. In the kitchen. Making a sandwich for me.
Yeah, that would not have survived Twitter 2020.
No, but that song is on YouTube if anybody wants to hear it. It's called In the Kitchen. And I don't know if it's my artist name on it or not, but you can search Alexander Vinter and you'll probably pop up. But listen to it later. We're going through this stuff now. So this was an attempt to do something like that, and trust me, rappers were all over this back then. In Norway, white guys, you know. Okay, that never happened. Okay, then I have another track called Monster Under My Bed. It's in Norwegian, so but I really like this. I think I used these vocals for the track on Void that's called Monster, and I just stole the vocals from here. Just 10 years later. Yeah. Yeah, that was the state of dubstep for me back then. That was very glitchy and complex stroll mixed with it was very complex. That's probably the word to use. A lot of chopping.
Robot porn music.
Yeah, a lot of chopping there. And then we have a track called Party. Oh yeah, skip that. Mindworm also. This is a good track. I love this stuff. There's two versions. We'll skip them quickly.
How that was literally the fastest you've made in the podcast so far. That was literally less than a second. You decided to not play it.
Yeah. Because it's a lot of whatever. Don't spend. Let's not waste time. It's not great.
What's in it now?
Oh, there's two tracks playing. So we had a talk about this on either publicly or privately, but it's amazing to me how good this sounds compared to Ninur, the album, which sounds like trash. And we're gonna get to that, and I'm gonna tear the whole album another, because the sound quality is so bad on Ninur. But the stuff I made before it sounds so tight, and I don't know what happened there. I know what happened, but we'll get there.
In the super chat, I need a monster under my bed, Alex.
Oh Lord, a fella told you that. It's like hardstyle synths in electro house. Very unique. Yeah, bass hunter type vibe, yeah.
Love me to chip too.
think it was a genre called hands up to like a subgenre that's very similar. Where it's like a little hardstyle-y, but EDM, by electro house. And there's version 2. I think maybe the first one's a little better, but. It's the same song basically. And then here's more of these. Woo. And then more of these.
You've played this one live for sure.
Yeah, I have. But this all kind of culminated into another project that was very short-lived, but I made it because me and the record exec at Section Z Records back in the day, when we signed the record deal...
the record exec.
Yeah, the only way we could get a distribution... Stop laughing, I'm serious. So the only way we could get a distribution deal was if he could promise 10 albums to the distributor. Get it? Like, that's the only way they would sign up Section Z as a thing, if they had like a you know what I'm saying? Like, they had a schedule.
I get it.
Yeah.
This is back in the day.
This is before you stepped in and took over again, because you left it.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So basically, he said, like, oh, if we're going to release this, we need like a 10-step plan to show the distributor that we have a schedule coming, so that we're not just like using them for one release. So I made all these artists, Blanco, Gunslinger Jones, Savant, and Winter in Vegas, and we threw them all at the distributors so that we could show that Section Z Records had like tons of artists to release.
AstroTurf, bro.
Yeah, so I made basically started Gunslinger Jones as just a project just to fill out those release schedules for the record label, and this was one of the tracks. It never got released though, but this is one of my favorites from yeah, this is before I heard of Mord Fustang. Also, yeah, me and Mord, we hooked up in LA when I lived there. I think it was 2016. We started hanging out a little bit. We didn't work out there. It was something weird going on. We can talk about that some other time. But we had a little falling out in LA. I think it was just like personality differences.
I don't think it was anything serious.
No.
Like,
it's just personality differences. We were just very different personalities, and got a little spicy. Anyway, okay. Blue Magic released actually part of the Section Z release plan, so this got on Beatport actually as a single. It's one of the first real EDM releases I had, so I was very scared about the master, and I just like kept the headroom really big because I was scared of crushing it. I didn't know what I was doing. So. This is always going to be, this is one of those played at my funeral type tracks.
Probably very so good, bro. info on that Savant collections you guys have been chatting about in past streams? Love you guys.
No,
we haven't talked about.
We haven't talked about that. Yeah, we answered that last time. We are gonna transfer those types of ideas into the website we are building, and it's gonna be like you can log into my website and basically pay OnlyFans subscription to me, and then you'll get access to all the material. You know, like that's the sort of thing we're thinking. Like anything I release in the future and what I've released in the past, you'll have access to everything, and WAV files, MP3 files, cover high def versions of cover art and all that stuff. So you have like everything in one place, and you can download it, or you can stream it on the website or whatever you want to do, you know, all that sort of stuff. So we're gonna, you know, figure out a way to do it there, because Bandcamp doesn't let us do 7,000 tracks in one release. It just doesn't work. Bandcamp's not set up for that shit, okay? So we need to figure out a different solution for it. So our own database on our own website is a much better way to do the complete collection. Yeah, this track is on YouTube. It's on Beatport. You can go get it anytime you want. You don't have to sit here and listen to it. Okay, so now we're getting into the demos for Ninur, which is a bunch of tracks. It's all of these babies right here. And then we have the actual album there. So we have all of these are made to kind of try to be on the album, but a lot of them didn't make it to the actual album. On the right side here, these are newer versions or different versions of the same track. Okay, so Bitches, that's a nice name for a track. Let's take a quick listen. It looks like shit, so we're gonna probably skip it. Oh, okay. Suspect. Do you think it's because the soft clipper in FL by default is plus 2B, and also the EQ kind of promoting boosting instead of cutting?
We just went super nerd, bro. Is this a production stream today?
Yeah. So, I don't get what you're trying to say. Like, yes. Do you think it's because of and also the EQ kind of promoting boosting instead of cutting? What's the question though? Like, do you think what? Do you think it's because of?
I've seen people do this in the chat. They're responding to something you did say.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't use soft clipper back in this time, and yeah, I don't really understand the mastering. I didn't use soft clipper on Ninur. I don't think I used anything productive on the mastering channel there. I think there was some sound goodizers, maybe some regular EQs, not even parametric EQs. It was just like terrible stuff.
Paramedic EQ.
Yeah, paramedic.
It's gonna save your.
Yeah, I think. I don't think there was any clipping going on, and if I did use anything to do anything, it would be a limiter. But I think I was so heavy on the headroom. If you guys look at the actual releases down here, the headroom on these are crazy. So I basically just normalized them. I didn't use any limiting or clipping or compression. Maybe compression, but it doesn't look like it. And then I just basically normalized the tracks for release. They have no proper mastering. That's why they sound like trash. A lot of these demos and stuff have way better mixing, and sometimes I would just let it clip into the master without using a soft clipper or a hard clipper, or just let it go red and render it that way, and it would have its sound because of that. Sometimes I used a compressor that had a built-in limiter in it, so I wouldn't have to think too much. But nothing fancy. I didn't get good at this stuff until like recently. So okay, we're trying to listen to Bitches, okay? That's boring. Oh, it's a little bit like, what's it called? Jamie Woon with a Burial production. It's called Night Air. It's a track that nobody's ever heard of, but it's a very good track and it's a little inspired, I think. This part. Whatever. Skip Bloodline. So this is next one. That sounds like me testing out a preset I made. Yeah, that's just me copy pasting a pattern. Skip Breakness. Now this one's good, and it sucks that it never got finished because the drop is only like half of the. I don't know. It's just a demo, but the drop is so good. It's got a long.
Talk to the producer about that, bro. You didn't finish the fucking job.
Yeah. So the build up is crazy, and the drop is amazing, I think. But it's old school dubstep before the super UK stuff happened. Even I think this is just super old school stuff. This is stereo, so you gotta hear two different voices, one on the left and one on the right, saying two different things. It's very dub, like reggae dub inspired. Yeah, so that was a good idea. I think it was too big for me. Like the minimalism, the ruggedness of it. It was just too beyond me to finish. I think I needed
that was
something.
Fun.
Yeah, I love that one. It just I didn't have the kahunas to finish it. Dark Days, whatever that is.
I miss intros.
Jones.
Cojones.
Okay, skip Grimy. What the fuck is this garbage? Oh, damn. Yeah, I think you could like a UK rapper could definitely fuck with that if I did that one back in the day.
Yo, throw that to Nika, bro. He's looking for stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Why not? Why the fuck not? Okay, the W. Now this is me trying to really do dinosaur with the. I didn't know how to use massive yet. Massive, by the way, is probably the biggest bane of Savant's existence. Massive was the biggest misuse of something that could have been great into something that was terrible.
Always fighting your tools, bro.
Yeah, I was fighting the tool. So before that, I was using a bunch of other plugins that did the job differently, and it sounds better and like that. It sounded different from everybody else because everybody else was using Massive, and I wasn't at this time. So my stuff sounded very different. But this one is me trying to do like the Jurassic Park dubstep stuff.
Good hotel.
I don't think I hit the bar right. Oh yeah.
Louder.
Yeah, so yeah, it needs to be louder. Maybe I should just pump up the volume. What are you saying?
Imagine doing this with the sub dynamics you know today.
Oh,
though.
Lord.
Wow, it's even better.
Yeah, so I don't really like this kind of music anymore, so that's why I'm not doing that sort of stuff anymore. Like, this is a time and place in my life. Like, I don't play in metal bands either anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks moved on from this, and this is not a bad thing. Things should evolve.
Yeah. So, no, everybody's different. Everything's phases, you know.
Still waiting for your Britney era.
Yeah, this is still a little Britney, but at the same time. And then we have the actual track called Gunsling Jones, which is actually on Ninur. This is the first version of that. I think it's identical to the one that's on the actual album, to be honest. Okay, there's some tracks here that kind of got... they're already in the mix here, I see, so we just delete those. But this is one of my favorite kind of like choppy... It sounds like a that Run DMC... it's like that remix from the guy called Jason Neville from 1992-3. It was like that. It's like that, and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
It was like a house track. It was like a house remix, and I don't know, that mixed with like French house music kind of got that choppy breakbeat. But yeah, this is very French touch when I think about it.
Gotta get you on that banger, bro.
What track does that remind you of? Like a pop track? Is it not Pitbull, not J-Lo, but you know, it's something like that. Like, is it some Timbaland stuff? I'm drinking Urge, which is the Norwegian version of the American Surge. Anyway, yeah, well, that was a long track.
So good.
Yeah, okay, that's good. You guys can hear the full version on the album. Misfits. Now we're getting into more demos, and now we're gonna start hitting Ocarine, Third Eye, and Get You Back. The actual Ninur. So Ninur was originally called Grillex. The song. this song. No, okay, not there. Ninur demo. See, Grillex.mp3. That's the original name of the track. So that's where that comes from.
That sounds like something a dubstepper from 2017, 18 would have done.
Yeah, Grillex. Okay.
Relax.
Misfits.
Badass.
Okay, so this sounds like some Western already, like Tombstone shit, where it's like,
See you at noon, cowboy.
I'll show up. I'll bring my guns. I promise. Okay, what's going on here? This looks like trash. Oh, this sounds like a hip-hop beat. Yeah, that's way too... Yeah, okay. Once. Oh! This is a track from Ninur? Is it this one? Okay, we have to put it down here then. Okay, skip that and then...
Hey, AJ in the super chat,
Okay.
AJ Galloway says, when you get to Vario, my favorite Moombaton beat you ever did was Champagne. Please let it rock.
It's that
Much
move.
love from New York City. I would say.
Okay, so it's not Moombaton. Let me break it down for you, bro. So AJ, listen up. Moombaton is between 100 and 115 BPMs, maybe 120, and it's definitely got a lot of similarities to what you're hearing. But what I was making is a subgenre of electro house called Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch had the Moombaton groove, but it was a mix of Swedish progressive house and maybe a little reggaeton influenced or Brazilian influenced rhythms within electro house, and it's called Dirty Dutch, and it was a very obscure little subgenre, and it's literally the origin of Blanco project was Dirty Dutch, and it's like and it's basically 128 BPMs, but it's got the reggaeton or dembo bounce on it. But it's never used with the snare. It's most of the time it's used with 808s or toms. And when I make Moombaton or Dirty Dutch, I always call those percussions tomba. I don't know why. It just sounds right to call them tomba. Those sounds, when I make sample kits for myself, it's like that particular sound is called a tomba. It's like boo dee doo dee doo dee doo dee, and it's usually two like a tom sounds I'm using. So yeah, there you go. Noted. It is not Moombaton Champagne, but I appreciate your $10. That's great. We'll call it Moombaton for you.
I'm pretty sure you got a Moombaton mix in there somewhere. How many versions of Champagne did you do?
We don't know yet until we get there. I haven't really prepped for Vario for this particular session. I have something for it, but not a lot. I think we're going to be fine with Ninur for now. And then Bind, this is more like a chill out breakbeat type track.
I could write chemistry notes to this.
Yeah, right? Lo-fi before lo-fi. Lo-fi dubstep.
Now that I want to hear.
You're listening to it. This is it, bro. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, Wreck. So I went through my old Facebook messages today because I remember making these songs when I was starting to talk to Alex from Pegboard Nerds. Like we had a pretty hefty correspondence for like 2-3 years on Facebook, where we started talking before he even formed Pegboard Nerds completely, when he was just called Auden or Flipside or whatever. And he was making the early demos for Pegboard Nerds, I remember. We used to send each other the early demos. I sent him Ninur, I sent him Overworld, I sent him, everything. So he heard everything before everybody else, before it came out. And he used to, he's an extremely good technical guy. He's extremely good with mixing and hardware, and he was always like a good influence on the sound of things, even though I never really lived up to that. So Pegboard Nerds has always sound more tight production-wise than Savant ever did. What my focus has always been back then was to try to be creative, or to try to like infuse with some quirkiness, while I was kind of waiting to, learn my ropes. I remember sending him this demo, and he really liked it, and he also made a similar track. I'm not saying he copied it. I'm just saying we were like vibing, and I sent him something. He thought, "Oh, that was awesome. I want to try that too." And I don't know if it was called Fire in the Hole, or it was like a glitch hop type of track. But of course, sounds very different. But I think it was like one of those first times he kind of wanted to dabble with that slow hip hop inspired EDM stuff. So this is the first version of Third Eye. This is the second version. You can tell because it's getting longer. And this is even longer again. When there's more arrangement, it's usually a newer version. So this is the absolute first version of this track, and it's one of my favorite Savant tracks. It's just never been done properly. Ruby, sorry. Any more ideas for merch? Chibi. The Chibi version exists already. You can get it in the shop. The Chibi shirts, they're even for kids, so you can get those. We're working on CDs. Cost money to make them, so we gotta make some money to spend some money to make some money.
And we're gonna do some more Chibis for like this holiday. Yeah, talk to Amanda about it.
Yeah. So Amanda Cha, the girl who designed those Chibis for us, she's like a in-house designer for Monster Cat and Pegboard Nerds and all these other people. And
she did a bunch of album covers for them.
Yeah, and she's done a ton of merch designs for me as well. She did the waffle mix picture. She did the throwback mix picture. She did the Chibis. She did the Savant Complete collection picture. So she was a great person to work with. She was always like a fun person to work with. And she also made the Overworld design that's on the new sweatshirt that's on my shop too.
Yep.
That was original from a tour poster, but I made it into a shirt, and I wore it on the last stream, I think. The Overworld sweater. It's pretty cool. But thank you, Ruby. I hope that answers those particular questions. Another one here. It's pesos, lol, can't change it. Sorry, that's okay. Just want to say that I love your music. Number one fan since God knows when. Protoss Innovation, top tier. Argentina someday. I was in Argentina, and if that mustache
was a while ago.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago. I guess you grew up. So we'll come back. Argentina was super fun. Good steak.
Yeah, bro. In Argentina, they get the mustaches like when they're like 6.
Yeah, I know. So but we'll be there for sure. Okay, so let's try to listen to Third Eye. So, did anybody know about this trick, by the way? When you have like a unsavable normalized file. You can go to pre-computed and get some dynamics back by taking the EQ. This would be the same if you EQ'd it and rendered it, of course, but it's very similar. And it's not going to sound better because it's still squashed, but you can at least see some more sound wave properties. And I remember when I was in talks with FL Studio Image Line, before we kind of like, they went their way and I kind of stayed with FL11. I remember they asked me for advice for what I think they should be putting in as features, etc. And I said, because they took away pre-computed effects, so that the reason it's back in is partially because I asked very adamantly that it was essential to my sound design. This ring modulation, the easy cutoff, the super fast pre-EQ, the boost, and the little stupid reverb thing that sounds like garbage. I use them all the time. And then you of course have like a Haas effect, like a stereo delay. The pogo, I think I use it on almost every day on things. This one, I would use it on percussion sounds. I use it all the time. So these
That's
are
like your salt and pepper right there.
This is my salt and pepper. This little box right here, and I told the chat too that I used when I was in talks with FL Studio on email about what they kind of like, what I kind of wanted to see in the FL Studio. I said to them, don't remove this. This is my bread and butter. I cannot use FL Studio without this, so please. So they had to put it back in. So it's called Legacy Effects, because it's part of their old school stuff. Anyway, yeah. So that was it's just a loop, and then we have some more arrangement. This is clipping so badly, I can barely hear the track. I think I just rendered it without any master on. I don't think this is gonna help, but
Whoa!
it's just distorting. Oh yeah, the file is destroyed completely.
I don't know if the chat knows, but I get the audio when they get the audio.
Yeah, I know.
Right. My reactions are a little delayed.
Yeah, I get them like 5-6 seconds before because I'm listening directly, right? Yeah, that's distorted as hell. And then we have a cleaner version. Yeah, here we go. That's pretty clean. So without listening to hip hop, this would never exist, this type of track. This is not inspired by glitch hop. That wasn't a thing back then for me. I never heard of that. This is just me trying to do other things with the dubstep principles. And I was a huge fan of DJ Premier, like I've said that tons of times. But this beat feels very like Big Pun. Like Big Pun was a big influence on me in general, and he has a bunch of beats. Big Pun has a track called Beware, and that beat has some harpsichords on it, and I swear to God that shit is fucking religious to me. Beware instrumental, holy schmoly. But anyway, this type of like beat is very like Big Pun inspired, like generally his sound. It's a little Frank Zappa. I think who sampled Frank. This is like the wrong group to be talking about hip hop beats with, but so Frank Zappa has a song that was sampled. It's called Thieves or something, and it's like this. Or something like that. It's a very similar vibe to this. I think that's where I have it from. I don't know if it would go hard at 170 BPM. We can fake it.
Let's try.
You kids always want to pitch things up anyway, so why not? It's called impulses. When you have ADHD, the more of them, the faster they come, the more you like it, because it's stimuli. Gotta be aware of those things.
This is the Nightcore mix, bro.
Yeah. There's probably should be a study correlating between ADHD and Nightcore listeners, where it's like they like regular things that are sped up because there's I need it faster because I don't have patience.
Yeah, I need more data faster.
Yeah, basically like the bandwidth.
Bro, let's make super fucking small songs, like fucking 16, 20 seconds long.
No. 20 milliseconds. Beep. Just slow it down. You can hear the whole thing.
I know kung fu.
Yeah. Okay, so here comes Ocarina. We listened to the demo of it here. Oh, that's 2 songs? No, is that one? Oh, it's just so messy. I thought it was 2 songs playing at once. And then we have Ocarina, the second version, which is probably a little bit more arranged. That is not a harpsichord, by the way. This is called forte piano. It's like the precursor to the piano. It's between the harpsichord and the piano when they kind of had like a when the piano didn't have velocity. It was also very plucky in a way, even though they were trying. They were trying their best. So you can hear that the theme wasn't there yet, and thank God you put things back in the oven when it's not cooked right? Because the melody's not there, the catchy opening melody, but somehow the drums got worse, but the melody got better. I think it's like a null-sum value game here. I can't have both. There's impossible.
You also gave the vocals more importance, and
but the drum sounds like so nerfed. Like they sound like 20 decibels lower. This is heavy, and then you have this. It's like such a different world. Yeah.
It does sound.
So my point with this whole stream today was like, God damn, what happened to Savant in 2011? Why did he start sounding so terrible?
He was just a baby.
Yeah, so there's 2 factors to why everything started progressively sounding worse and worse the more I released. And the big reason is called what's that when you have fright of like a performance fright but not stage fright? It's a different word for it. When you have like this what's it called? Fucking too many languages in my head now.
Lack of self-confidence, like
no. It's called another word for overthinking. It's called. Is the chat
overthinking? Imposter syndrome.
No, not imposter syndrome.
No, that came later.
I don't have imposter syndrome. It's called. It's called
analysis paralysis.
No, that's also layman terms for this thing. No. Okay, whatever.
You want the scientific definition, doctor?
Yeah, dude. Literally, savant means scientist in French. I can't.
Yes.
It cannot.
All right, hold on. I'll talk to chat.
Yeah, no. So basically, I was just like over overthinking and being a little scared of releasing because I thought there had to be a certain way of doing it, and it was like, let me just Google because I know the word in Norwegian. So let me.
What's the word in Norwegian?
No, I got it. Okay,
Tell us.
I got it. No,
teach us Norwegian, bro.
no,
It's not a bad thing.
No. Performance anxiety, basically. Okay, good. It just sounds better in Norwegian then, I guess. But it was it just sounds like impotence in a way, like performance anxiety. It's like I can't perform. But
I was impotent.
Yeah,
stage.
so releasing tracks was like I got a little fear of that because I thought it had to be mastered a particular way and it had to be do this and that ended up in me kind of over engineering, overthinking everything, and really just pushing all the buttons down and up, and I didn't know which way to go. I was just scared. So very frantic mixing. While some of these songs sound naturally good, let me finish. So all these songs back here sounds naturally tight and good because I just went with my gut feeling. And then as soon as it started coming to release time, I just like overthinking and destroying absolutely everything. And the second thing that ruined my mixing and mastering for the next 10 years is smoking a hell of a ton of weed. That shit ruined my ability to be critical about absolutely anything. And really, it made things fun, but it tore down my mental health and my critical thinking skills. So those being performance anxiety and then smoking tons of weed ruined mixing for me, and it's just getting worse and worse down the line. There, it gets a little better when it's like I think I started turning it around for real. There's going to be a little like. Sorry, yeah.
I wasn't the first person to fight you then on, hey, you need somebody to do the mixing for you. Like you need help, right? Like pass it on, move on to the next innovation, right?
Okay, I could be anyone. You could be anyone because technically to me you are just anyone. But the Third Eye is one of my favorites that you made from all your albums. Can we expect these demos to be on an oncoming website so we could hear what could have been? Maybe. Yeah, so if we get our website... If we get our website...
Don't tease.
What?
Don't tease.
No, but I'm saying like if we do a website where we can do a somewhat complete thing for real, we can definitely have if your subscription to Savant website and like a Patreon type thing.
Ultra super complete.
Yeah, then you can like get access to like the dungeon files. I think would be fine. The problem when we put these songs out into the world is that we also have to register them with...
That's not a problem.
Okay, I don't know.
Like at all.
To me, it sounds like a problem. Okay, so Ocarine Mix 2 sound like trash. Let's go to Hymn. Let's see if we can recognize what song this is. I don't know. Oh, I don't think it's any song. Yeah, this didn't make it on the album, apparently. Yeah, it's too messy.
I like it. I put out worse shit.
What?
I put out worse dubstep, bro.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
You have? You have put out worse stuff? Oh, you mean as a record label?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you...
No, this song has never been officially released. This is just like a demo that never went anywhere. It's just too all over the place. Brute, same deal here, I think, as well. I don't think... Oh, this is terrible. Oof, terrible. That sounds like some demo a kid would make. Okay, Maximus. Oh! Oh! Forte piano again. Hello? Shit. this Busta Rhymes would have fucking killed this shit, man.
See, I'd call this pop today.
Oh, Lord, okay.
Right?
I don't know. I don't think pop is that dark. I think pop is very happy and go lucky. Okay, Fury. Oh, we're not going to listen to that for more than a second. Oh, this is... It's a mushroom cloud. Isn't it? It's called heart-shaped mushroom cloud or something like that. That should be here somewhere. Let me see. Mushroom cloud. Shouldn't. Let me just organize a little bit here because a lot of stuff. It should be there. Mushroom cloud. Okay, I think it's mushroom cloud actually. It sounded very familiar. Dancer in the Dark. Mushroom cloud. There we go. And then put that on mushroom cloud. And then move this away. Okay, so let's save that and then. That's pop. I think somebody just got a massive. I think somebody just found massive and modern talking. And
I'm coming for you, Brittany.
Yeah.
Work with me, Brittany.
So those sounds don't hold up because they're trash. Massive. I didn't use Massive. Massive was a huge detriment to my career. So yeah, we have Mastermind down here. Mastermind is did I pass it? I'm an idiot, maybe. It should be here. And it's not Lease, it's not complicated. It's not Hero. It's not Indigo. It should, isn't it Indigo? I think it should be Indigo. Roller Coaster, Lightsaber, Back to the Future. Let me see. Where did I put it? Mastermind. Incent. There it is. Mastermind. It is coming. I love Mastermind. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so that was Get You Back, I guess. And then we have the Grillex. So I came from video game music background with making music on Game Boy and trackers and stuff like that, chiptune stuff. So I don't also know at this point in time who else was. Oh, like I think my camera just. Right.
Uh-oh.
Give me a second. I have another one. I have another camera. No worries. Not to worry. Got another one. Let me just go get another camera real quick.
All right, Chad, it's just us now.
Pick up the battery in the kitchen and then put this battery on. Loading.